Today's our topic is DNA fingerprinting. Fingerprints. Now we come to the fingerprint. The fingerprints are the some impressions present on the tip of the fingers. These impressions are not similar in all the people. If we compare with the fingerprints of the A person with the B person, they are showing difference. The impressions of the fingerprints are showing different from A to B. So other than the identical twins, such a way the DNA of the particular person, DNA of the particular A and B persons, if you observe some of the regions of the DNA, nucleotide sequences of the DNA, if you observe in the A and B, they are also not identical. So this is called as a DNA fingerprints. This DNA fingerprinting technique used to find the disputed problems of the problem of parentage, disputed problems of the parentage, identity of criminals, to find the criminals. Whenever any crime taken place, whenever a particular place crime has taken place, so at that person the people are involved in the crime. To identify those criminals, we need to use this DNA fingerprinting technology, and identify the rapist, identify the reuniting of lost children. One child was lost in few years back. He came to us. I am your son. And he says, I am your son. How can we find? So based on the DNA sequences of that particular parent and son, we can find that. So reuniting the lost children, and identity of burnt and identity of burnt or unidentified dead body, unidentified dead body. So in such cases we can use this DNA fingerprinting. So let us see what is the DNA. In DNA, what is present in the DNA? So DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. This deoxyribonucleic acid is present in the chromosome. So already we studied in Human Genome Project, 99.9% of the nucleotide sequence of the nitrogen base pair, 99.9% of the nucleotide sequence are base pairs in our DNA, similar in almost all people. 99.9% of the base pairs are similar in almost all the population. Only the 0.1% of the base pairs are different from one person to other person. One person to other person. So 99.9% of the base pairs are similar in almost all the population. Only 0.1% of the base pairs are different from one person to other person. This 99.9% of the DNA is called as a bulk DNA. It can code proteins. It can code proteins. It can code protein. It involved in the transcription, translation. Finally, proteins are synthesized by this bulk DNA. 0.1% of the DNA is called as a satellite DNA. Satellite DNA. It cannot code any protein, non-coding sequence. This is a non-coding sequence. It is a coding sequence. Coding sequence. So 99.9% of the DNA is called as a bulk DNA. It is a coding sequence. This is called as a coding sequence. It can code proteins. So 0.1% of the DNA, satellite DNA, it is a non-coding sequence. It cannot code any proteins. It cannot code any protein. So this sequence, this bulk DNA, satellite DNA can be separated by density gradient centrifugation. Density gradient centrifugation. Using this centrifugation mechanism, we can separate this bulk DNA and satellite DNA as a different peaks. Suppose when we take the DNA in the test tube, in this test tube we have taken the DNA. So when this test tube is rotated in the centrifugation, based on the gradient, this DNA can be separated. As some peaks. It is a large peak. It is a small peak. It is a large peak and it is a small peak. This large peak bulk DNA shows the bulk DNA. Its small peak show the satellite DNA. Such a way, by using the density gradient centrifugation mechanism, we can separate the bulk DNA and the satellite DNA. The bulk DNA, it is showing the high peak, so that is a bulk DNA. Small peak satellite DNA. By using this, taking this peaks, we can separate the bulk DNA and the satellite DNA by the density gradient centrifugation method. So actually, the satellite DNA is a repetitive DNA sequence. Repetitive DNA sequence means a particular DNA sequence is repeated like this: AGGCT, or else like that, or GGCT, or GGCC, or GG, like that. So this satellite DNA is a repetitive DNA sequence. This repetitive DNA sequence can be divided by two types. It is divided by two types. This is a satellite DNA which is showing a small peak in the centrifugation. It is divided into two types: mini satellite DNA, and microsatellite. Mini satellite and microsatellite. This mini satellite and micro satellite can be separated by the different region. There are some reasons are there. Because of these three reasons, because of those reasons, the satellite DNA can be separated as a mini satellite and a micro satellite. What are those? Let us see that. So these two are separated by the some point. Based on that points, number of repetitive units, number of repetitive units, number of repetitive units are copy number. For example, GC, 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 GC here. How many times it is repeating? 1, 2, 3, 4 times it is repeating. So here, for example, GC, 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 GC here. How many times it is repeating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. So based on that, number of repetitive units and copy, these also call it as a copy number. Number of repetitive units are copy number. This is one of the point. Based on this, mini satellite and micro satellites are separated. And one more is ratio of ATGC. So the pairing of this adenine thymine base pairing and guanine cytosine ratio. Based on this ratio of these pairs, based on the ratio of this AT and GC, and this is one of the point. This is second point. This is the first point. And next, length of the DNA segment. Third point, length of the repetitive DNA segment. Repetitive DNA segment. Length of the segment. Length of the segment. So number of repetitive units. How many times it is repetitive here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So based on this, these are separated. And that is also called it as a copy number. Ratio of AT and GC. Ratio of AT and GC base pairs. So based on this ratio, we can separate. And length of the repetitive DNA segment. The length of the repetitive DNA segment. Length of the repetitive DNA segment. The length of this repetitive DNA sequence is bigger than this repetitive DNA. It is a smaller DNA segment. It is a larger DNA segment. Based on this also, mini and micro satellites are separated. So actually in these repetitive sequences in mini satellites 10 to 60 base pairs are present. 10 to 60 base pairs are present. These are called as a variable number of tandem repeats. Variable number of tandem repeats. So in microsatellite, 1 to 8 base pairs are present. 1 to 8 base pairs are present. How many base pairs are present? 1 to 8. Here 10 to 16 base pairs are present. These are called as a variable number of tandem repeats. Variable number of tandem repeats. So this microsatellite which is having 1 to 6 base pair, that is called as short tandem repeats. Short tandem repeats. So these microsatellites are called it as a short tandem repeats. The mini satellites are called it as a variable number of tandem repeats. So it is a 10 to 60 base pairs. 10 to 60 base pairs. So likewise, this satellite DNA is separated, divided as a mini satellite and a micro satellite. Microsatellites. These repetitive sequences of the variable number of tandem repeats, the repetitive sequence of the variable number of tandem repeat vary from different from person to person, different from person to person. The repetitive sequence of this variable number of tandem repeat is different from one person to other person. Using this principle, DNA fingerprinting technique was used. So using this principle, it is an important principle. It is an important principle for DNA fingerprinting. It is an important principle for the DNA print. Considering this VNTR repetitive sequence, number of repetitive sequence, so DNA fingerprinting is developed. A particular person has a repetitive sequence 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. For example, a particular A person has a repetitive sequence 7, a particular B person has a repetitive sequence 7, a particular C person has a repetitive sequence 8, a particular D person has a repetitive sequence 9, a particular E person has a repetitive sequence 10. So these repetitive sequences are 10 times in particular person. In repetitive sequence of the D person is 9 times, C 8, B 7, A 6. So this is unique to the person to person. Unique to the person to person and different to the person to person. So based on this, DNA fingerprinting is developed by a great scientist, Alec Joffrey. So Alec Joffrey developed this DNA finger printing in 1985 from UK. He is from UK. In India, DNA fingerprinting technology was started by Dr. V.K. Kashyap. Dr. V.K. Kashyap and Lalji Singh. Dr. Lalji Singh. So in India, Dr. V.K. Kashyap, Dr. Lalji Singh and Alec Joffrey in 1985 from UK, he developed this, and it is used by Indian scientist Dr. V.K. Kashyap and Dr. Lalji, CCMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad. So he is called it as a father of DNA fingerprinting. Alec Joffrey is called it as a father of DNA fingerprinting. Using this, so this DNA fingerprinting is used to find the murderer or rapist. Like criminals can be detected by using this DNA fingerprinting. Suppose, for example, if you take one murder at the particular place, from the place of that from that place we collect the blood, hair, skin or semen of the victims. Victims' blood, hair, skin, semen. So whatever the material from their body is available there, we collect that victims' material, like this material, blood, hair, skin and semen. But we are suspecting a particular person had done this murder. Then that particular suspected person, blood or hair or skin or semen are selected. From that DNA is extracted. From the DNA, VNTR probes or VNTR repetitive sequences are collected. Then this VNTR repetitive sequence of the victim and suspected person, victim or suspected person is compared. The repetitive sequence of this repetitive VNTR sequence of the victims and suspected person is compared. Then the person is identified, the criminal is identified. If it is not compared, some other person should be done this, some other person did this murder. Then they will go for some other investigation. So based on these VNTR repetitive sequences, we can compare the VNTR sequence of the victim and suspected person, and finally we can catch the particular criminal. So this is the use of DNA fingerprinting. Now, what are the steps in the DNA fingerprinting? Let us see that steps of DNA fingerprinting. In DNA fingerprinting technology, first we have to isolate the DNA. Isolation of the DNA is the first step. Second step, digestion of DNA. Digestion of DNA by restriction endonucleases. Restriction endonucleases. So we can digest the DNA into the different fragment by using the REN, restriction endonucleases. And these DNA segments can be separated by gel electrophoresis. Next, fourth step, transferring of separated DNA fragments to synthetic membrane. That is a nylon membrane or a nitrocellulose sheet. It is a synthetic membrane. To the synthetic membrane, the separated DNA fragments are transferred. Next step, hybridizing the DNA fragment. Hybridizing the DNA fragment using VNTR probes. This is the fifth step. And the sixth step is detection of hybridized DNA fragments by DNA fragments by autoradiography. Autoradiography. First of all, we need to isolate the DNA of the particular material, or hair, or blood, or skin, or semen. In the nucleus, DNA will be there. The DNA is isolated. This is called it as isolation of DNA. Next, digestion of DNA by restriction endonucleases. The DNA is cut into the many pieces by the restriction endonucleases. Separation of those cut DNA fragments by the gel electrophoresis. Transferring of separated DNA fragment by the gel electrophoresis onto the synthetic membrane, nylon, or a nitrocellulose sheet. The hybridizing the using VNTR probes, radioactive VNTR probes. And next, detection of hybridized DNA fragment by autoradiography. These are the steps involved in the DNA fingerprinting. How this isolation of DNA? So isolation of DNA means using some chemicals from the cell by dissolving the cell membrane and dissolving the cell membrane and nuclear membrane from the cell. This cell is treated with some chemical. By treating with some chemical, the cell membrane of the cell and nuclear membrane can be dissolved, and finally DNA can be extracted. DNA can be separated. This is called as isolation of DNA. This DNA, whatever it is separated, the DNA, whatever it is separated here, that is cut into the many pieces, by the restriction endonucleases. Using the restriction endonucleases, the DNA is cut into the many pieces. That is called it as a digestion of DNA by restriction endonucleases. Now the DNA is cut into the many pieces. The many pieces of the DNA is separated as a different segment based on their number of repetitive sequences, or based on their number of repetitive sequences. The DNA segments are separated. By using the gel electrophoresis method. So what is the gel electrophoresis? Let us see that. This is a gel electrophoresis slab. In this gel electrophoresis slab, we take the agarose gel. It is extracted from the red algae. So here we can take the agarose gel, entire gel slab, and here we have some wells. We put the DNA segment into these wells. What we put in this DNA segment, whatever it is cut by the restriction engine, the segment we put here, and then so it is connected to electric field. It is a negatively charged region, it is a positively charged region. So now when electric field is created, the DNA segment, DNA is a negatively charged material. This negatively charged material can move from the well from towards to the positively charged material, positively charged pole. DNA segments are moving from the negatively charged region to positively charged region. And because DNA is negatively charged material. Since it is a negatively charged material, this negatively charged material can move from this region to from well to positively charged region. The movement of the segment can be taken place in the gel electrophoresis slab based on their weight or based on their length. For example, the DNA segment length is more. For example, this is a DNA segment is more. Then the weight of this the DNA segment length is more here. So for example, this is a more. Length of this DNA segment is like this. So then what happened? The mass of this DNA segment is more. Then it can't move fastly than the smaller segment, because smaller segment has a mass of the smaller segment as less compared to the larger segment. So that it smaller segment move towards the positive pole fastly, and then larger segment move slowly, so that it is here. So based on their mass, the segment move like this. So here somewhat small, here somewhat small, then this small segment, then this small segment. So based on that, the segment can move from negative end to positive end. Now the DNA segments are like this here. The DNA segments are present on this in this slab. So this on this slab, we just put nylon sheet on this. We just put one nylon sheet like this. Nylon sheet. Then we transfer the DNA fragment to the synthetic membrane. We put the entire slab with one nitrocellulose sheet, and then we press it. So because of that, this DNA bands, whatever it is present in the cellulose agar gel, those are attached to the nitrocellulose sheet. Suppose it is a gel electrophoresis slab. In this some DNA bands are present. So these DNA bands are transferred to the nitrocellulose sheet. For example, this is a sheet. This sheet is put on this nitrocellulose slab, and then we can press it. So because of that, all the DNA segments are attached to this nitrocellulose sheet for the proper observation. So this is called it as a transfer of separated DNA fragment into the synthetic membrane, nylon or nitrocellulose sheet. Then this method is called it as a Southern blotting. It is named by inventor E.M. Southern. Before the transferring of the separated DNA fragments to the synthetic membrane nylon, this gel electrophoresis slab is filled with alkaline solution. This before transferring this DNA segments to the nitrocellulose sheet, this slab is filled with some alkali solution. This alkali solution separate the hydrogen bonds between the base pairs of the two DNA segment. For example, this is one DNA segment. Two DNA segment having the DNA segment. It is paired with the hydrogen bonds. The nitrogen bases of these two strands of the DNA is paired with the hydrogen bonds. So these hydrogen bonds are dissolved, and then the DNA segment get into the DNA segments are separated now. Now the DNA segments are single stranded segment. So before transferring the DNA segment to the nylon sheet or nitrocellulose sheet, this gel electrophoresis slab is filled with the alkaline solution, treated with the alkaline solution, because of the double stranded DNA is separated as a single stranded DNA by dissolving the hydrogen bonds between the base pairs. Now we have a full of DNA segment. Then we transfer these DNA segments to the nitrocellulose sheet. So this is called it as a Southern blotting. Southern blotting. So this Southern blotting is named by the inventor E.M. Southern. E.M. Southern. Now the single-stranded DNA is transferred to the nylon sheet. This is called it as this is a nitrocellulose sheet or nylon sheet. So whatever the DNA single-stranded structures are attached to the nitrocellulose sheet. Now the DNA strands are like this. Single-stranded DNA strands are like this on nitrocellulose sheet. Nitrocellulose sheet. So these single-stranded DNA of the nitrocellulose sheet are made to hybridize with the already available single-stranded radioactive DNA. Already available radioactive DNA. So the radioactive DNA nitrogen base sequence, the sequence of this radioactive DNA is known. It is known. For example, the radioactive DNA nitrogen base sequence is ACGT, for example. So ACGT. It is a known sequence. Now the known sequence of this radioactive DNA segments are introduced here. In this nitrocellulose sheet, these are introduced. Whatever the complementary to this AGCT present in this DNA strands. For example, what is the complementary to this one? TGCA. TGCA containing nucleotide sequence containing DNA strands are paired with this radioactive DNA segment. For example, this is a TGCA segment. This is paired with this one radioactive DNA, and this one is paired, and this one is paired. So this sequence is a TGCA, and when we introduce this radioactive DNA sequence, this is paired with the DNA sequence of the DNA sequence which are already in the nitrocellulose sheet. So the repetitive DNA sequences of the nylon sheet paired with the radioactive DNA. This is called it as a hybridization. So when this VNTR sequences of this DNA already attached to the nylon sheet hybridized with the radioactive DNA, then we get hybridization. So hybridization we get. Now this unhybridized DNA segment, whatever it is, unhybridized DNA segments are present here. Those are separated or washed off by using the water. Using water, this nylon sheet is from the nylon sheet, unhybridized DNA segment, whatever it is present, those are separated. From the nylon sheet. Now the nylon sheet has hybridized DNA bands. Now the nylon sheet has only the hybridized DNA segment. DNA segment like this. hybridized DNA segments are present. So these are appear like some bands, some dark bands. So these are appear like dark bands. When we introduced this nylon sheet into the X-ray photograph, when this nylon sheet, nitrocellulose sheet is X-ray photographed, then it is X-ray photographed. Then it is X-ray photographed. The DNA hybridized pairs, hybridized DNA structures are appear like some bands on the nitrocellulose sheet and appears in the dark color. These photographs are called as autoradiograph. So the position and number of such dark bonds on the autoradiograph are unique to a person and vary from person to person, like DNA fingerprints. So the position and number of such dark bonds on the autoradiograph are unique to the person and vary from the person to person. When we compare this dark bonds on the dark bonds of the victim and some suspected person, then the criminal is identified. How it is, we'll see by the. So here DNA from the individual A. It is a suspected person's DNA. It is a chromosome 7. It is a chromosome 2, chromosome 16. Chromosome 7, chromosome 2, chromosome 16. It is a DNA from the suspected individual B. Chromosome 7, chromosome 2, chromosome 16. So these are the chromosomes of the suspected individual A, suspected individual B. So they have a variable number of tandem repeats 1, 2, 3 here 3. Here in this chromosome 4. In this chromosome 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tandem repeats. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tandem repeats. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tandem repeats. Here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. So when this tandem repeats of the variable number of tandem repeats of the DNA from the suspected individual, DNA from the two individuals. So we are suspecting the two people, A and B. So the DNA of this tandem repeats of this individual A is like this. Tandem repeats of the individual B is like this. When we take the autoradiograph of this chromosome like this. So like this setup. So the DNA bands are like this. So individual A, individual B like this. So when the DNA from the crime scene, the victim's DNA is selected from that, the segments are like this. 11 segments here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 segments here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. The tandem repeats, number of repetitive units are like this, and chromosome 7, same chromosome, chromosome 2, chromosome 16. Now this tandem repeats of this suspected tandem repeats of the person who person's DNA of the crime spot and the suspected A and suspected B. When we compare that, then we can find the criminal here. Here the tandem repeats of the DNA from the crime scene is like this. Crime scene is like this, and particular A DNA of the particular A person is like this. Particular DNA of this particular individual B is like this. When we compare this DNA of these two, which is matching here, this DNA bands are similar to this DNA bands, so that this particular B individual is a criminal. This particular B individual is a criminal. By this we can confirm that B individual person is a criminal here. So this is about the DNA fingerprinting.